Obviously, you have a relationship with Cyborg. She's in the news all over.
Right.
And they finally make a 145-pound women's division, which is huge, huge. And then
it's mind-boggling.
It's without her, though.
She was offered the fight. She has been fighting over the last 3 years and cutting the weight that they've asked her to make 140 pounds.
Which is crazy.
You know,
for her to do.
she wanted to have a little break, and I had her back. I said, I believe in what you want to do. Awesome, great. And they offered her a fight January 21st. She said no because you're fighting on that card. And then they offered another fight. I think it was in February 11th for a title, for 145-pound title against Holly Holmes. And she said, no, I still want to take a break. And it made me scratch my head going, why would you do that? Here's your opportunity to shine like you just won. That's just showing that you just won. They made your weight class. And she didn't want to do it. And I said, okay, I support you. But she needs to understand that the show goes on. In UFC, the show goes on. It's not about the fighters. It's never been about the fighters. It's about the show. And they made the weight class 145. Holly Holmes against a girl who I don't know who her name is fighting for the 145-pound world title. I seen Dana post it on Instagram, and I said, good job. Thumbs up to Dana for making the 145-pound weight class. I get a text from Cris saying, what the fuck? Whose team are you on?
I think
it hurt me.
Just emotional.
It has to be emotional. It hurt me, and when she said that, I was just like, excuse me? I put my name out on the line for you, girl.
You do.
When nobody would. No one wanted to partner with her at all. And she says, I'm the champion of the world, and I have zero in my bank account. Can you help? And I was out of my way to go and help her. Now it's like she has everything in her palm. She's letting it slip away. I don't know what it is at home. I don't know. I don't have a clue. And she sent me another bad text, and I just was like, I hope you sit and think about this. I love the girl like a sister. It's at the end of the day, and it's all over, and we're no longer fighters no more. I still would invite her in my home. It made me just kind of scratch my head thinking, it's just like, why would she say the things she's saying right now? But it's emotional. As a fighter,
yeah, I think she's emotional, and maybe when she saw that, it triggered something in her where she's like, what the? Like, she feels like everyone's against her.
I'm not.
No,
I've been for her for the whole time.
I agree.
We got her in the
I'm
UFC.
just saying maybe
she
she felt like that, you know? But if you see her reason, she came out and she goes, for me to make the weight after making 140 in these past 2 fights, my body's wrecked. And I suffered depression.
Yes.
I just need to march.
Yes. 100%.
And so what's going on, I think she needs to not take it so personal, because I don't think the UFC is going, all right, we have to have 145. Let's do it without Cyborg, because they created let's be real, they created it for her.
Yes.
She's the best 100%. In the world by far. But
and
they just want to do it now. And then remember, they have this huge debt they have to pay off. This huge freaking debt.
And the show must go on.
The show must, and to say the least, but the show must go on. But it also, by having more belts, you get more attention, which results in more pay-per-views.
Yes.
So they're like, all right, we
need
need this Brooklyn card. She can't make it. All right, well, she's going to fight the next one. So it's not the end of the world for her. No. You're going to be champ. Yes. They're just keeping the belt warm for you. Exactly. It might be in March. It might be in April, May, but
and that's the other thing that she doesn't understand. Every one of these 135-pounders, 145-pounders, 155-pounders, if there was.
Shit, 170.
There is no woman in the world that can compete with Cris Cyborg.
Oh, I was like, damn, that went down a weird road? Now I'd like to argue.
Because that was leading to something. That's why I thought of that.
I hear you.
Ronda Rousey needed to get her ass whipped by Cris Cyborg. Because
so
Cris Cyborg is the best in the world by hands down far.
And I agree
does Ronda get past Nunes? No.
You don't think so?
I don't think she gets past Nunes. No way. Nunes is a stud.
Reasons? Just because Nunes hit so hard? Game plan?
Takedown defense. Her jiu-jitsu is really, really good. Mm-hmm. She punches half as hard as Cris. Cris punches like a woman. These are girls fighting. Cris is a woman.
And I agree with I think she's by far the best female fighter on the planet. And I've always wanted to get her due, and I wish UFC would invest more in her. what she's doing now, she's been fighting for 10 years, and she's always wanted this division, and it's finally there, and now it's almost like self-sabotage because she thinks the entire world's out to get her. It's like, hold up. She's going, I wish I fought for a boss who liked me, and that's a whole nother issue. He said she looks like Wanderlei Silva.
Funny because it's like a mirror to me. It's like she's making the same mistakes that I made, and it's like it makes me scratch my head and going, gosh, man, please stop. Please learn from what the things I did. I made some bad mistakes in my career against the UFC, and I wish I never would have done a lot of the things. But it was just my heart, the way I thought at the time. But she's in a total different world,
She's also not that young.
And, 30 years old. She's a monster.
She's been fighting for a while.
Yeah, she's been fighting for a long time. But like I say, man, none of these girls can even touch Cris. None of these girls can even, they're not even on the same level. And she doesn't understand that. If anybody's ever told her that that's a dangerous fight, don't fight that person's a complete liar.
She could probably beat up every girl at 140, 145, whatever you want, in the same night. If they want to go old school, they could just rotate through them.
Yes.
And she would destroy everyone.
Yes.
She's that good. I agree with you there.
Yes.
How much better would it be for her, especially in the long run of things, if she just tweeted out when that happened, ladies, I can't make this wait till March. Enjoy the belt while you can, because as soon as I'm back, I'm wrecking everybody. And Ronda, you in 135, I'm gonna be whatever you want to do. Come up and play with the big girls.
Yes.
And you have the biggest fights, biggest fights. And now when she comes back, you're fighting for a belt. There's no interim belt, nothing like that. You're fighting Holly, who I think is gonna win. You're probably fighting Holly. And it's a huge fight. It's all good in her boat. Yeah, but don't throw freaking fire, man. Just chill.
No reason to throw gas on the fire at all. I just I don't know. I literally I had to turn my phone off at the time. I couldn't understand the texts I was getting from her. I felt hurt. I felt like I got stabbed in the back. It was like I worked so hard to get to this point. Her manager, actually George Prazian from Primetime 360, has worked so hard and has given so much to the woman, and has worked so hard with the UFC, with Sean Shelby and with Dana, to try to make the fights happen.
It's been some work.
And Cris has asked for everything, and they almost gave everything. And it's just, as a fighter, people don't understand what fighters go through mentally. I think they don't really understand. They expect us to be on our A game 24/7, 365 and a quarter days a year. Putting that leap year in there.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
But it's not that easy, man. This job's tough. This job's hard. This job's demanding.